Hey, how you doing? This is Freddy Rodriguez.
And I'm Wilmer and Valderrama. Welcome to Dos Amigos here on the beautiful iHeart platform.
That's right. And today, Wilmer, we're going to talk about quotes we live by, quotes that inspire us. It could be from a person. It could be something you read in the stall in the bathroom.
Okay.
Could be,
I don't want to read that one. That's so inappropriate, you know?
You have if I may share this, you have a wonderful neon sign upstairs.
In the kitchen.
And I remember when I first came to your house, I thought, oh, wow, look at that. I just thought it looked pretty and it worked really well with the aesthetic of your home. But then today you took me up there and you really had me look at it and read it and really sort of meditate on it. But tell everybody what the sign is and what it says and what it means.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a neon sign that's in my kind of like my breakfast area, my kitchen area. It's kind of the area that, you know, I kind of filter through before I go to work in the morning or before I go to the gym in the morning. And it reads and it says, if you woke up this morning, you're already winning. And some of you who've been listening from the beginning, you probably have heard me kind of softly say it in between conversations and all that. There was a lot of things in my life that pointed to stand still, look around, take a deep breath, just appreciate where you are in this moment. Somebody put it like this, like somebody this morning didn't take a breath. Somebody this morning, unfortunately, is no longer with us.
Yeah.
So, so for me, waking up in the morning, it's like a win.
Yeah.
You know, you were given another day, you know?
Yeah.
So it was my way of kind of reminding myself to not take for granted, you know, the day that I've been given to make a difference, to work hard, to make memories, to, you know, to live the fullest, you know, and to laugh and to enjoy as much, to, you know, to kind of, to really reflect on all those things. So if you woke up this morning, you're already winning. And then I added to that, if you woke up this morning, you're already winning. How much more winning do you want to do today? So the idea was that like you dug in and you planted your feet and you dig and see how, you know, how much harder can you work today? How much more can you reach out to and build community and whatever. So that's, and it really changed a lot for me because it forced me to appreciate the day ahead of me. It also forced me to kind of appreciate where I was in the moment.
Yeah.
Without having to dwell too much about what tomorrow looks like or what next week looks like or in the next 2 years. Even though we always have these plans.
Yeah.
It's really important to not forget that if you woke up this morning and you took a deep breath and that you've been given life today, what are you going to do with the life you were given this morning? So that's where it took me.
Yeah. Why was it so important for you to have it made in a neon sign?
I never wanted to forget it.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget it. I don't want to take for granted. I don't want to just wake up and 2 weeks went by and I can't even remember what last Tuesday was. Right? That's why when we went back to the beginning and the podcast and we talked about my hour a day. That my hour a day was a way of saying, how do I remember Tuesday? So if every day feels like this routine, you wake up in the morning, you go to work, then you go to lunch, then you come home and you watch the one episode of the one thing, you go to sleep, you do it all over again. If in 24 hours you don't have one hour for yourself, how do you remember Tuesday? How do you remember Friday? How do you remember Sunday?
Right.
You know, so my hour a day is like, how do I define, what do I do for myself for that hour? Do I meditate? Do I work out? Do I go for a run? Do I read a chapter of my favorite book? Do I listen to Dos Amigos, my favorite podcast, the best podcast in the universe of podcasting and everything that's ever released in the universe of podcasting?
Agreed. I agree.
Definitely so much better than most of the podcasting that many actors have had out there. So it's like, you know, so listen to at least 2 or 3 or 4 of those. Sometimes one episode is an hour, right? Or sometimes an episode is 2 hours because these guys won't stop talking. But those guys are great. I love them. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Huge freaking fan. So when you think about that, you know, it's like, what do you do in that 1 hour? What do you do in that 1 hour?
I hear it's shot in a cool speakeasy too.
It is in a really cool speakeasy, kind of like this one. But like maybe different because I don't know. It's like, you know, I think they color corrected differently, so it doesn't look like this. It looks different.
Yeah.
But my point is that that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget that I was given the gift of breathing again. That when your eyes open up, you look to your left, you might be able to see your 4-year-old daughter sleeping in the room with you guys, right? You know, you open your eyes, your dog is at the end of the bed looking at you, waiting for you to let him out. You know, like there's little things that you wake up and you get to do again. But there's also opportunities to do something for the first time. So, you know, if you woke up this morning, you're already winning. How much more winning you want to do?
And it's rooted in gratitude.
Yes.
Is the foundation of that quote.
Yeah. Which also keeps pushing you to do the uncomfortable. Not the complacent, you know, routines that make you feel safe.
Yeah.
You know, in order to grow, you have to push yourself beyond the uncomfortable, right? You have to kind of deal with the uncomfortable as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're already winning, you know, you're not going to gain an L by, you know, by doing the uncomfortable.
Do you think it also makes you go, besides that, right? You know, there's sometimes as we talk about gratitude, you know, because it's so easy, I feel like for us to go, oh man, the thing I was trying to get off the ground didn't happen, or like that part I wanted didn't happen, or like, you know, the thing in the last like decade that I've really been focusing on real heavy is like, it's like, wow, man, you know, I have a house, man, you know, I have food on the table.
Yeah.
Like my kids are good. My kids are healthy.
Yeah.
My bills are paid. As we talk about rooted in gratitude, like I've really been focusing on that lately a lot.
What about for you? What drives you that? What brings you to that point of gratitude?
It's I guess for me is you know, seeing how other people don't have it as good as we do, man. And a lot of time when in my prayers, you know, I always try to pray for people who don't have it as good as me, man, and just ask God to just kind of bless them as well. And it makes you grateful for what you have, man. You know, what you have. Would I prefer to, like, you know, be Tom Cruise? Yeah, I think we all would, right? But like, I'm grateful for what I have, man. I'm grateful for the work that I have. I'm grateful that the income that I've made to pay my bills, or the car that I have, or the house that I have. You know, like I'm grateful for what I have. You know, and so gratitude has most definitely been at the root of it all. But for me, it's not necessarily like a quote. Like for me, like it's more of a Bible verse that I like a lot, and it's Isaiah. Yeah, I have it right here. I want to just make sure I get it right. Isaiah 60:22 says, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." And the reason why that resonates with me, like every single day, is because I feel like in our profession we're always in this pursuit, right?
Right.
In a pursuit of like I said, getting something off the ground or getting this thing or whatever. And you gotta sometimes remind yourself that it's not your timing. You know,
that's right.
It happens when it's supposed to happen, and that Bible verse keeps me grounded and keeps me sane. Because there's a lot of people that I know in our industry who are not rooted in that, and so much of what they do and so much of what they believe in is so rooted on or measured by me getting this part or me getting this thing or me, you know, I feel like that could drive you insane in this business. Yeah. And so you have to kind of change your frame of thinking in order to be able to survive.
Yeah, and not everyone's timing is the same, right? Yeah. And then you know sometimes you fall in the trap of creating this imaginary parallel tracks to other individuals or entities or you know, evolutions that you're like, why am I not part of that evolution? Why am I not keeping up with that? You know, and the truth is you're gonna carve it at the moment where you're the strongest to hold it and keep it and like held it, you know. And I think that's the interesting thing to think about what you're saying. Like timing is everything.
Yeah.
But you know, you also think about the different times in your life where you've had certain levels of wisdom. Yeah. Would you have been able to hold the opportunity if it would come to you 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Or is this the time where you're old enough and young enough to actually lead it into a completely different level? And I believe you, Freddy, you know, you write, you direct, you produce, and you are an incredible performer. Tons of people are like, this guy is a real deal. So you think about all those skills that you gathered throughout the year, like right now is the time for you to make the uncomfortable phone call. Like, what is the thing? How do you push beyond what, most people feel comfortable boxing you in, right? And like, like you brought up Tom Cruise, and it's an interesting example because he continues to define the odds.
Yeah.
He continues to rewrite the playbook for everyone. Now there's a market for somebody his age to still do the dynamic stuff that people thought that those ages don't do or didn't do back in the 2000s or in the in the 90s or the 80s.
Yeah.
If you got a certain age, then you got to play the dad.
Right.
But he just said, okay, Brad Pitt gets to be this, and like Javier Bardem gets to be this, and like all these individuals have now entered around where they can still be, the action stars. Liam Neeson, you believe him kicking ass every single time, So like I feel like that there's an interesting kind of paradigm shifting and opening up a little bit.
But you just said something interesting a minute ago. You said about being in a position in your life where you're able to receive those blessings, right? Because sometimes people do get blessed in the way that they dream and the way that they want, and they're not ready to receive those blessings.
So it goes away.
It goes away, or it ruins you, right? Or you waste it, right? It drives you crazy, whatever. You fall into drugs, Right. Like look at you, right? You're doing wonderfully. Your company is thriving. You're producing such awesome material. Like, do you think that 20 years ago, you would have been able to handle that responsibility or that success?
Not on the level that is happening now.
Yeah.
But I would say that I, at the very least, had the foresight to be hungry in the field.
Yeah.
Because I created Yo Mama when I was like 24, something like that, 24, 25.
Yeah.
Created Yo Mama on MTV, but I didn't know where it was going to lead. I was like, it'd be cool. That's how it started. It'd be cool. So it's not like I'm building an empire. No, it's like, it'd be cool if I produce a show on MTV,
Yeah.
And it started like that. But
those are the seeds for what?
But I agree. I wouldn't.
Right.
To have the foresight to be able to handle, to speak the language I speak now on the executive level, on the CEO level, like I would not had to. You kidding me? English was my second language.
Right.
I have barely a high school education. So I had to take myself into like a bachelor degree of the industry by wearing everyone's shoes to understand what it's like to walk in them, to then find the wisdom that turned into the efficient opinion and point of view that made you intentionally thrive to grow into the thing that you are right now.
Right. So you went through this evolution and this growing period in order to be able to get to where, so you work towards it. I'm saying, do you think that if, and this is something that you always aspire to, right? And then you were blessed with it, and here you are, and you're emotionally prepared to handle that stuff.
Right.
I'm saying, like, imagine you, Wilmer, 70 shows straight out, and all of a sudden you have what you have now. You've evolved into the emotional maturity in order for you to be able to handle everything you just said. You grew, you learned, you whatever. But there's an emotional maturity too, to be able to receive and to be able to be a good steward of those blessings.
I think it's the recipe. I think it's also like a perfect storm of things. You also have to look at your environment.
Yeah.
You have to look at the people you surround yourself with. You also have to kind of take an inventory of, what are the resources available to you in that moment to build your small Everest. And like, when you're starting the beginning, how you're just trying to get the next audition. Yeah. How do you even have the foresight to like, I'm going to run a studio one day, but to your point, it's like, your either lack of understanding or ability to grow emotionally mature to handle a responsibility like the ones that we take on now, has to also be part of an intentional mathematical equation that you have to do early enough to say, I can't be hanging out with the same, knuckleheads. I can't, I can't be like, I can't be carrying myself that way. Like there's certain things that you have to audit along the way if you're going to give yourself a shot at just emotionally growing.
Did you have a kind of a very conscious shedding period of shedding the knuckleheads, shedding the...
Well, I was very fortunate because, as an immigrant, you come in here knowing you got to get it right from the beginning.
Yeah.
But of course, throughout the process, you get introduced to the cliques and the posses and the thing, whatever. And I always thought, oh, I'm as strong as my posse, but... Yeah. But, the idea is like, an amount of posse or friends or, group or, your surroundings either could propel you into your next thing, or it can slow down the arrival of the opportunity, or it could hold you in the same place. So you're never going to get to the right place at the right time. How crazy is that? You can be holding in place with the people and the surroundings that you have, knowing that it's easy, you feel protected, you feel it's not vulnerable at all.
Right.
But then you stay in the same block radius and you'll never be able to be at the right time at the right place because you never give yourself a chance to like travel lighter on your feet with at least an efficient view on like who makes you better.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think that barometer inside of you? Like, what does it say to you when you feel like maybe I should shed this person, or maybe I should shed this bad habit that I have, right? Like even us as human beings, like I've been really focusing on that lately too. Like, habits, right? Like
I think it manifests. I mean, tell me what it's like for you too, or what it was like for you too. But I know that it manifested itself in like, I'm exhausted to give.
Yeah.
What made me exhausted to give?
Yeah.
Oh, this is taking this much emotional investment. This is taking so much more equity from me. Like there's things around you that are there, but they're so comfortable and you don't like change and it's uncomfortable. Let go of either the bad friendships or you just keep it around. And like, so you put out the fires in the name of harmony as opposed to like getting rid of the fire starters. So I think that's when you start really realizing, oh man, I got to start choosing myself right now if I'm going to pay rent. Yeah. I'm going to have to choose in myself if I'm going to have to get to where I need to be. Right. And I don't know, I can never trust most of the industry to wish me well. I trust my brothers in arms like you that, have been proven in the industry and we only make each other better and try to really lift each other up. But most people don't, you know how it is. Yeah. So it's like either you have to walk alone sometimes, or you have to just really do an inventory and really walk with those. But what about for you? When do same vibe for you? How did it?
I think for me, like as we grow older and we evolve in life and in the industry, in life, I feel like, you mature and your moral compass changes and like, when you're young, you're a knucklehead and like that stuff is fun and being rebellious is cool and like, and you get older and you mature, right? And then sometimes there are people around you who are not maturing at the same pace as you are, So you're like, dude, I love you, but I gotta, in order for me to mature, in order for my compass to grow and to, I have to kind of keep you at arm's length. And I think that in our business, as you also mature and evolve in our industry, I think that there's a lot of things that you learn, right? There's etiquette that you learn. There's things that you learn that you may have not known when you're first starting in the industry that you learn as you get older and you're around enough professionals and then you kind of get it. And then you start to, I'm constantly sort of evaluating myself and doing self-checks in myself. And what I could improve, what I can't, what habits I have, what bad habits it was great when we had Lewis Howe here and he gave that analogy about like squeezing an orange.
Right.
Remember that? And
Yeah.
he was talking about if you squeeze an orange, what comes out? Orange juice, right? So it's like when you get squeezed, like what's inside of you, like evaluate what's inside of you so that when you do get squeezed, the right juice comes out.
Right.
So I think I'm constantly on that quest and we're all human, right? So like, we're not perfect by no means, but I'm constantly just trying to evaluate what that juice is so that when the juice does come out, it's right.
Wow, no, that's great. Thank you for offering that. For me, it's like you get up in the morning, take a deep breath, look around. I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm going to the gym and I'm just like going to break a sweat. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, and then you just start your day and try to like, whatever challenges comes, you got to solve it. But what about for you?
So no coffee before the gym, no food?
No coffee before the gym.
No.
But sometimes when I'm doing the 4:30 a.m.s.
Yeah.
Give me some of that caffeine.
Yeah.
I need it so bad.
An empty stomach, and you work out on an empty stomach?
I do work out on an empty stomach.
And so all the acid doesn't come up?
No.
And like, really?
No. I chose to not have acids.
Well, I'm going to choose not to have cancer.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's very good.
So I'm never going to have it.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I highly recommend that.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, I highly recommend that.
Yeah.
What is your morning routine? Just before we close this episode.
My morning routine, the second, sometimes even when I'm in bed, I pray. That's really, because I know that if I get out of bed and I go downstairs and it's like, oh, let me look at my phone.
Do you have a place in your house, or you just do it wherever you're at when you're still?
Yeah, even in my room, there's a I just get on my knees, or sometimes I get on a bench and I just sit.
Baby, please.
Yeah, yeah. I have a small little gym like with a mat. Sometimes I'll just go there, but I have to do it first thing because otherwise I get, that ADD kicks in, man, and my brain starts to go. Yeah. It starts to spin, man. So before that spinning starts to happen, I have to do it.
Yeah.
That and like I've been practicing TM, Transcendental Meditation, for a good decade or so. I got to get better at it. I got to be better about it because sometimes I just get so distracted.
Yeah.
But like, it's helped me in so many ways. It's helped me regulate mood and anxiety. I feel like it's made me a better actor.
You think it's because you're more centered, more open?
Yeah, because you get in front of that camera and you have 30 people behind you, and it's so easy to get and I feel like boom, it gives me like I get so focused, and I feel like it connects this sort of the pineal gland with like with all your everything, your gut and your heart, and right, because acting is just all about like finding the truth, and so like if you're connected with all this stuff, it's just about this sending the signal down here to like.
And you have to be aligned with your instrument.
Yeah. And,
like your instrument is all of this for all those young actors out there.
Yeah.
Instrument is like your entire body is how you tell the story.
Yeah.
And if your mind is somewhere else, the body is not going to tell the story, right? So you have to align it.
Yeah, and you're constantly, I feel us as actors, we're constantly fighting. It's really easy to like read a script and go, okay, and then here I'm gonna do this face, and then here I'm gonna, here I'm gonna say it like this.
Still a lot of people do that.
Hey, listen, for some people it works. I find for me, it's easier for me to know what the emotion is, and in order to get that emotion, truthfully, I have to be sort of aligned internally. It takes a lot of work, but I just feel like that's what works for me.
Yeah.
Right.
It's weird for me when I'm reading a script. I cannot help but to start performing it.
Yeah, of course.
As I'm reading other characters' lines.
Yeah.
It turns into me making choices based on what I'm hearing back from the script.
So wait. You do the other characters' lines?
Yeah. So like I'm playing the other characters. And I'm playing my character, right? So I look at my character, and then as they respond to me, I'm making choices as them. And so then I respond to the choices of those characters as the character when I'm co-reading it.
Wow.
It's the only, and that's why it takes me a while to read a script, because I take dramatic pauses and everything. Like, I internalize it. I do the whole thing. Like, so my first take, my first honest take of what my character is going through in that scene is informed by how I'm reading the other characters.
Wow. Hey man, everybody has their way of getting there.
Right? Yeah.
You got everybody. There's no right way
Yeah, you know how you lock in, but like this was a really great reminder to have those routines, to wake up in the morning, practice gratitude, take that deep breath, and then also being one with like the audacity of making the phone call for yourself. We kept talking about this earlier, like, if you have this gratitude of where you're at, how much farther can you go? Only relies on how bold you're going to be with your self-worth. Your self-worth is going to inform what you're going to call to get next, So
are we going down this list of like quotes here?
Let's go definitely. Through these. We do not need to do it, but we're gonna do it now.
Everything happens for a reason. Do you believe that, Wilmer?
It is what it is.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what.
Do you believe that?
It is what it is. It is what it is. No, I don't believe in that. No. I think it is what it is. It's like a comma, because something has to happen after that.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Okay,
the guy's a prick. It is what it is.
Okay, well, right. Well, there's no other alternative. Right. That's just what it is.
Right.
That's what it is. Okay, YOLO.
YOLO.
You only live once.
You only live once, man.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's bet it all on black. Let's lose everything. All right, that's great. That's freaking great. Time heals all wounds. Does it though? Does it?
Are you still?
Time?
Are you
really? Does it really? Time?
Are you still holding a grudge from like?
Is it obvious?
30 years.
Is it obvious?
From 30 years ago. All right.
What's the next one?
Dance like no one's watching.
Oh my.
Dance like nobody's watching, Wilmer.
Who wrote these? Leo Clem. It's interesting. Let me see.
I wrote them for this exact reason.
Oh, because it creates a vicious debate.
Yeah, they're polarizing.
They're polarizing.
It is what it is. Yeah. It gets under my skin when people say that.
Yeah. No, there's no.
There's
always a reason for everything. There's always a reason, but we're decided to ignore it because we want to end the conversation. It is what it is.
And here, fake it till you make it.
Is it fake it till you make it? Wow. What happens when you make it? You really have to do it.
Right. I guess
what happens then? Smarty pants. Right. Why not fake it till I make it? And then when you make it, what happens? Now you really have to do it. What happens now?
Now I could wear the real Rolex and not the one I got from the alley downtown. Is that kind of what?
It does work. But the fake it till make it is such an interesting one because okay, you faked it into a career, and then now you have to practice it.
Right.
When are you gonna learn it? I don't know, dude.
I guess.
You're faking it, and you're unfortunately you're making it right now. Look, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Okay. It is what it is.
Everything happens for a reason.
It is what it is. It is what it is. You know. And to be honest, Leo, from tonight's episode, just know that time is gonna heal everything. All right. And I know that after this is done, you're gonna go home and you're gonna dance like nobody's watching. If the tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound?
Right. Yeah.
If I didn't see you dance, you didn't do it.
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason.
I get it. And I guess that you YOLO when you dance when nobody's watching. But you get home and you dance by yourself and you're just like dancing like nobody's watching. What does that mean? That you're gonna just be silly?
I guess it's a quote on confidence, right? Like saying be confident.
So that means like dance in front of people, like they're not there to watch you dance.
Or be as bold as you would when you're dancing at home by yourself, right? Like there's a form of confidence that you exude when you're dancing for yourself.
That's it. That's it. Oh yeah, that is it. Well, listen, for those of you who use this on your daily basis, please don't get discouraged by this conversation.
You better cut this off the episode.
We're talking to really annoying, optimistic people in here, so don't stop.
No, whatever works for you. Whatever works for you.
I'm Wilmer Valderrama.
I'm Freddy Rodriguez.
Thank you for listening to Those Amigos. This is Find Your Quote.
Find your quote.
Right? Find your quote. Find those words that get you through it. We love you guys so much. And remember, if you woke up this morning, you're already winning. Thank you so much, and see you on the next episode of Dos Amigos.